right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being with us this morning. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Hope you guys are all safe and ready to get back to work. This morning, we're going to be going over a kind of a overlooked subject. It's a kind of customizing the Annuities Genius software to kind of fit you personally. This is a point of sales tool. And so you're going to be using this in front of your clients. And what better way to make you stand out if you have a beautiful platform that kind of has your company logo, has your photo on it. We're going to show you how to customize your product deck so you're only showing the carriers and the products that you want to show. So let's see here. I'm going to find Jason.
Hey, Josh.
All right, Jason, can you hear me? Hey, good morning. Let me turn you up a little bit.
Yes, loud and clear, man. You sound good.
All right.
No problem. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. So, Jason, we're going to be talking about everyone about kind of customizing and kind of making this. Oh, very good. If you're sitting in front of a client, okay, and you want to make a good presentation, how important is kind of the customization, letting the client see that you do stand apart from the competition?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think it's critical because, you know, we always talk about transparency. So I'll harken back to, I'll give you a great example. Had a case, you know, the customer had, you know, pretty sizable assets, and working with a CPA and an attorney, only wanted to see A+ rated carriers. You know, I think most of us in our career have come across that, you know, from time to time. So as an example, being able to do something like that just on the fly is pretty awesome, because you want to be able to obviously, you know, be transparent and show, not just tell people what we're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. So going over a little bit, everyone should be familiar with the dashboard. Okay, we're going to be going over a little bit more on the case details and going over the questionnaire, and we're going to go over that in a sec. But first, if you haven't already done it, if you go up to where your subscription is, okay, you click the little drop-down arrow. You're going to go to My Settings. Now, right off the bat, this is where you put your logo, okay? You simply go to Update Photo, okay? And then you can go ahead and choose which photo and, you know, your company logo and what size you want to put. Once you choose the one that you want, then you're going to make sure you click Update, okay? And same thing for the profile photo. You want your picture to be up there. Profile photo is going to be right here. Your company emblem will be right here where it says your logo. And they're also going to be on the reports as well. So when you print those beautiful reports out, send them to your clients, it's going to have your company logo on there. All right. Also, if you ever need to change your billing subscription, let's say you're in a basic package, okay, and you just need that rider calculator like everyone does, you can go right up to the Prime subscription, click it. If your card isn't already in, your card information will be here. You just click subscribe. Okay, you can change that at any time. If you want to go from a monthly subscription and you want to go to the yearly subscription to get that savings, I mean, $360 for the year ain't bad. You can do that there. Anytime you need to update your payment information, like if your card's going to expire, you go to payment method. Okay, you upload the new payment method, make sure you click update. And anytime you want to see the invoices, every time you make a payment for a monthly or the yearly subscription, you will see the invoices there if you need to write it off for tax purposes, or if someone's going to be paying for the subscription for you. Yeah, you can provide it to your FMO if they actually need an invoice. Everything's right there. Also, we're going to talk about product decks. Okay, a lot of people have been calling in and saying, look, I'm creating my product deck, but the companies that I don't want to show up are still showing up. Okay, we're going to fix that problem once and for all here. If you want to create a product deck or you want to change an existing product deck that you have, you go to Manage Product Deck. Those are the only two reasons you would go to Manage Product Deck, is if you're going to create a new one or you're going to change an existing one. So when we go to Manage Product Deck, again, you can create them however you want. A ratings only, contracted carriers, favorites, it's up to you. Okay, I'm just going to create one for my name. And then you click Create. The way you create the product deck is you select the carriers that you want to present, and then you deselect the products within that carrier that you do not want to present. So you can deselect the products. Okay, once you go in and you select and you deselect all the carriers and the products that you want, you're going to go up to the top right, and you're going to click Save. It's going to save the product deck for you. Now, here's where a lot of people just stop. You have to go to Change Product Deck. Remember, this is Manage Product Deck. You're only going there to create and to change an existing product deck. The way you go to Change Product Deck is if you want to switch it. Okay, and we might even change that to Switch Product Deck. Okay, this is where you choose the product deck that you want to be in. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to select the one that we just created. Now we can see that we're in the product deck that we created. This will always tell you what product deck you're in. Okay, now when we go back to like these tools, okay, we can see if we select a state here, we can see that only the companies and the products that we want to show will show up. Okay, if I go to Change Product Deck and I go back to All Products, now all of the products are going to show up, and we can see because we're in the All Product Deck. Okay, so Manage Product Deck, only going there to create and to change an existing product deck. Change Product Deck is going to be switching from one product deck to the next, and you always know which one you're in by right here. Okay, so hopefully that clears it up. If you do have any questions, please feel free to call in. All right, we're going to be going over a little bit more on that questionnaire. We did get some questions on the questionnaire. Okay.
Hey, Josh.
The way you
Josh, while you're
yes.
doing that, Josh, while you're doing that, can I make a few comments real quick before we move to that point, to that part?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. So just wanted to share a little bit. Hear our hearts when we say this. Back to the profile. We get some questions about, you know, what kind of image or whatever. So we just want to remind you that when you're doing your logo and you have a company logo, it's probably a good idea to run it by a few people. I know that's common sense, but just wanted to make the obvious comment, because sometimes we see something, we think it looks really cool, but it would just make sense if you shared that with some other people and get their unbiased feedback. And also on the photo, again, probably common sense, but here are hearts here. You probably want to use a photo that's, you know, fairly recent or current. It's just people like to see a picture that resembles you, like something that's within, you know, however many years. Yeah. So yeah. And again, common sense, but we're just trying, you know, we're just trying to give positive feedback. We're just trying to be, you know, helpful. Also too, as you're doing that, here are a few things. Some of the best ideas we get are from advisors and subscribers, agents and advisors. So for example, I'm just going to rattle off a few. When you're thinking of doing a product deck, we mentioned like the A+ rated only, but you could also do that like Flex Premium. So like, let's say you have a case and you're working on IRAs, Roth IRAs, or ongoing premium bonuses, which is one of my favorites. You could go through there and you could find the products that have ongoing premium bonuses beyond year one. And you could, you know, curate that data, put that data in there, create a product deck, and you have that. It could be extra liquidity. So as everyone knows, some of the products that we have on the platform have extra liquidity. It's not just 10% after year one. It could be 10% liquidity first year. Could be 10% beyond year one, with a cumulative, like say 20% or up to even 30 or 50% or return a premium. So that's another good one. And then when you come across those cases where, you know, as we all know, as we've seen the evolution of fixed products as well as variable, you have banding now and we have higher premiums. So if you, in your product deck,
Right.
one thing that I've seen that's, you know, you might want to have one that's 10,000 or less for those smaller premium cases. It's just, all of these are just designed to save you time, energy, and money. So I just make
Yes.
a couple comments of some good ones we've got from people. Another one is RMD friendly. So understand that some of the products that we have on the platform, with over 2,000 annuity products and growing, remember that all annuity products, they're not all RMD friendly. So we see
Right.
this specifically if you're running a MIGA product, you know, as an example. We got a lot of single premium product there, including multi-year guaranteed annuities. So
Mhm.
just keep in mind that they're not all, many of them are, the majority of them are, but they're not all RMD friendly. So those are just a few that I think are some gems that you might want to consider when you create a product deck.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is all about customization. We want, I mean, just like Jason said, we're here to save you time. And if you're not having to worry about, carriers or products that are not going to fit the client's needs, you can
Yes.
have those product decks that are saved that without a doubt these are going to be the ones that I'm going to choose from. And
Yeah,
again,
and
it's just
actually, yeah, and so real quick, Mark, great question. We just got a chat from Mark. Uh,
oh yeah.
so I believe David or Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but right now, what you would do in specificity, you would when you're going through product, there's not just a button.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think we can just click a button and say RMD friendly. I don't believe. But what you would do is, if you know there's a
No,
product to
we don't have
exclude
that.
that's
Yeah.
not RMD friendly, because again, we're working on the exception, not the rule. Yeah. So, great question, Mark. But yeah, as you're going along
Right.
and you come across that, again, we don't want to be nitpicky here, but that's just an example of one, because we had an advisor ask as a large case, and they were stacking products. So they were using, they didn't want more than 250 per annuity, and there's multiple annuity products. So there was, believe it or
Right.
not, there were more than one product that they were looking at that were not RMD friendly. And so, that can come up, but you have to either create it as I would do it as an exclusion, say excluding, as you find them. Like, I actually know of some, but I was just using that as an example. So
Right.
great question.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry,
Most
Josh, go ahead.
definitely. So let's kind of move on a little bit to the question. Oh, no, it's okay. We're going to go over a little bit more on the best interest consumer suitability profile. So again, just to kind of run through, the way you would do it is you would go to new client. Okay, you would type in a client's name. So let's go with someone everyone's familiar with. All right, we're going to select the state, investment type, and we'll select the age. Now, from here, all you do is click Create Client. Okay, once you create it, you'll see the information pop into the middle, and then you'll also see it pop in on top. Okay, from here, you can run the questionnaire. Okay, and I'll go through that. The way you do it is you click Run Questionnaire. You're going to go to Share Public Link. Okay, sharing public link, and you go down to Try Public Link. Okay, all you have to do, once you do it once, you're never going to forget it. You're going to hover your mouse over this, and you're going to right click. Okay, you're going to open up in incognito mode. Now, I'm already in incognito mode, so it's already going to be there. Once you do that, you see Tom Brady's information, and we're going to copy the link. We're going to copy it, and then you put it in an email. All you do is just paste it to an email, send it to your client, okay? Once they click on that, this questionnaire will come up. They'll fill out the entire questionnaire, and as soon as they click update, it gets updated into your CRM system, Okay, that way they don't have to send it back to you. They don't have to do anything. All they do is just click update and it updates it all automatically for you. Now, what a lot of people forget is, let's say they don't know that they're with a client. Okay, they don't know that they have a client's information in. You always have to check the top left here. Okay, this will always tell you what client you're in, because sometimes people will go to the rider calculator. Okay, and they do all this work for, a hypothetical prospect, and they don't know that they're in California, and they don't know that the premium's 250,000 or the age is 62.
Right.
Okay, you always have to make sure that you know what client you're working with, because that's the information that the Genius is going to filter out for you. Okay, it's only going to show what's available in California, what's best for a $250,000 investment, and what's best for a person who is 62 years old. Okay, so you got to make sure that you know what clients you're dealing with. Although you saw a little bit of difference on the names here. So we have changes to Growth Analyzer. Okay, we've changed this to the Index Indicator, changed this to the Backtest Historian, FIA Solver, and Annuity Transition. All right, we've changed the rider calculators to guaranteed income, and that hypothetical increase in income calculator has been changed to stacked income. Okay, still in a beta test because we don't have all the carriers in there yet, but hopefully in the next few months we will. It looks like Annuities database has stayed the same. Client management has stayed the same,
So really,
which brings me to the website. Okay, we get a lot of people asking about the website. Yeah, go ahead.
hey Josh, so I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have, hey Cliff, it's from
Yeah,
Clifford
Jason.
Wright to all. So yeah, if you go to your view options, Cliff, yeah, it's probably on your end because we have it enlarged to show you guys all the details. So if you're seeing it very small, Cliff, it's probably go up to view options. It's tied to, God, okay, good. Okay, sorry, we got it. Sorry, Josh, go ahead.
Perfect. No problem. So when you go to website, okay, under client management, this right here is a template. Okay, this template is what you can fill out. So you put your Facebook under the Facebook information. You put LinkedIn under the LinkedIn information. Okay, you select the states that you're licensed in, a little bio and customer disclosure. You can also upload testimonies from your clients. Now, this is the visit button. This is what you can click on to see what your website looks like. And this is what your clients see. Okay, they do not have access to Annuities Genius. Okay, this link that I'm highlighting up here, this link you can put anywhere you want. You can put it in email blast. You can put it out on Facebook. You can put it on your business card. Anytime someone clicks on this link, they're going to come to your website. Okay, you want them to come to your website because you want them to fill out this information. Okay, when they fill out this information, like their name, their email, state, phone number, premium amount, investment type, what they're kind of looking for, and their date of birth, all of that is going to be uploaded to two places. Okay, you're going to get an email notification with all this information. That way you can upload it to any CRM system you want. Also, it's going to be uploaded to your CRM system in Annuities Genius. Okay, so let's say you go to your client management system down at the bottom. Okay, all the new clients will be down here at the bottom. All right, we can see Tom Brady here, but let's say David Spade registered online. Okay, well, David Spade is the one that I want to be working with in Annuities Genius, but Tom Brady is the one that's up at the top. Okay, so what you do is you go to select client. Okay, select the client. Choose the one that you want to work with in Annuities Genius. Now you can see that David Spade is the one information up at the top. Now when we go through Annuities Genius, David Spade's information is who we're working with. If you want to create a client, you can go to create a client, fill out the information, and click create. And anytime you want to go to David Spade's profile, you just click on client details. client details will take you directly to David Spade's profile where you can do editing. Okay, you can put more information in. Okay, you can set tasks for yourself. You can leave notes for yourself.
Yep.
Again, everything is record kept for you. Timestamp, date stamp. We even provide you with the illustration that you went over with them. And this is where you would see the fact finder, where you can run the questionnaire from here as well. Okay, Jason, if you could, can you explain a little bit more about the that Reg BI best consumer suitability profile and how that's really going to kind of change the game going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things, like it was just even as we were talking about the profile. So really quick, I just want to highly recommend that you guys take advantage of when you're building your separate web page, when you have that feature, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Right.
You don't want to leave that little bio section blank. Put in something. It doesn't need to be super long. But I also wanted to address what you covered, Josh, which was great. We get a lot of feedback. That is such a powerful piece. You want to make sure that you take advantage of, what's in there. For example, under testimonials, if you're doing securities, you're probably not going to want to put testimonials in there. You have to be careful, or you're going to want to talk to compliance people. So we're cognizant of that. Just wanted to make that comment.
Yeah.
But please take advantage of that. Use a logo, use a photo, put in a bio, put in your basic information. Keep it short and sweet to the point. People want to know that you're real, and you want to take advantage of those fields. They're built there for a reason. But to Reg BI, absolutely. So we touched on that last week a little bit as we went into this new feature that we have in the Annuities Genius. So everyone, whether you're doing securities or not, if you're following Reg BI, we did a little, history last week. We took a walk back in history and talked about all the different things that have happened. The most recent being the DOL rule, the fiduciary rule that was thrown out through the Ninth Circuit Court that was overturned. But now we've been having this Reg BI. And Reg BI originally, as it was coming out from the SEC, and we had language that talked about securities. And there's some misinformation out there. And frankly, it's been evolving and changing. It's been a little confusing, big shocker, right? But the reason why we're covering it, because a lot of you do securities or assets under management, whether you do in commissions or fee-based planning, but this is actually creeping over into the annuity space, okay? So it's really important that you understand, as someone that's working with annuities, whether it's fixed or variable, that this is definitely coming over. If in fact, it's already been passed, it's law. It's going to be kicking in at the end of June. And what they've actually ruled on so far, like for example, Arizona's already doing this, Iowa, just to give you a couple examples, is it's going to be left to each state. Okay, so what Reg BI actually is, that's a call we could probably go a little deeper on another webinar, or maybe on a separate call, or have a couple people that we maybe a guest.
We did the webinar for Reg BI before, so that's actually in your Genius University.
Right. So, but briefly, folks, each carrier is going to be coming out. They're going to be coming out with announcements. And so what we're trying to do is head this off at the pass. And in the Genius, we want you to have a questionnaire that's Reg BI best interest friendly. And we all know that we should be doing what's in the best interest of the customer anyway, but this is taking it next level. So if you're a fiduciary and you're already dealing with this, whether you're state registered or SEC registered or your insurance only, it's all the above. It's different rules for each person depending on your licensure, but there's going to be a new form that's going to be coming out. There are going to be some changes. And, as we anticipate, it's going to be creating some extra questions. So that's part of what the questions we have in the Genius for Reg BI are there for a reason. And it will change or will adapt as necessary. But it's going to be paramount that you have. It's not going to be optional. So you're going to have to document everything, right? So we're helping you do that. And I would highly recommend that becomes part of your sales process. And so that's why we're putting it right in the Genius platform, tied to your personal website, tied to your light CRM feature within Annuities Genius. And if you have a separate CRM, that's great. But the more, there's an old saying by compliance and suitability people. And we all know that if we've dealt with them, there's no such thing as having too many records, too
Right.
many notes, too much detail. So Reg BI, you're going to start seeing more and more announcements from the annuity carriers as well. And hopefully, if you do securities through an RIA or a broker dealer, you should have already been receiving information on this now at this point. If you
Yeah.
haven't, then you're definitely going to want to go back. But basically, we have to make sure that the recommendations are suitable. But now it's a little bit next level, because we're using specific language like best interest,
Right.
and there's specific rules for that. So that's built into the Genius.
And you guys, we just want to make it to where you don't have to worry about being compliant. That's something that you really do have to make sure you are being, but it's not something that you want to focus all your attention on. And sometimes if you're like me, I don't tend to record keep and do all that stuff until after the fact. And then I'm up for 2, 3 hours late at night trying to get all that stuff situated. And so we want to kind of make that something that we're going to take care of for you. You just focus on getting clients, which we are looking a little bit into as far as leads. We don't know exactly how we're going to do that, but we understand that you guys need leads. Okay, we are providing you with the #1 annuities dashboard and point of sales tool. We're also going to be rolling out how to sell with Annuities Genius. Okay, we are working with a lot of agents that are really high producers and they love Annuities Genius, and they're giving us ideas on how to present in front of the client. Okay, and that's something that we're going to be rolling out here hopefully in the next few months, is not only how to use the Genius, but how to sell with the Genius. Now, there are some questions that I see here, and one of them is, and we get this a lot, how does this compare to, and I'm not going to use the other platform, but how does Annuities Genius compare to other platforms? Well, I can simply say, if that's the question, then the person who asked it might not be a subscriber. But Jason, if you could very briefly explain just a little bit how Annuities Genius is kind of setting apart from the crowd when it comes to other software platforms.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So
Can I hear that too, Josh? Hello, everybody. This is David Novak.
David.
Hi, Jason. Good news. I just spoke to the realtor. We're growing. We're getting a huge, huge space for us. We have a lot of people that want to join the Genius team, and we are excited to have you in the family too, Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, me too, man. So yeah, I just want to say one of the biggest takeaways, one of the biggest things you're going to notice is if you've used any of these other platforms, hey, there's some great stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff out there over the last couple of decades people have been building and building. But one thing you'll notice about the Genius is that you have multiple things in one platform. So this is like having, we're not going to name names, but it's like having multiple different subscriptions and things that you would need to use separately, all in one. So first of all, it's consolidation. Okay. The second thing you're going to notice is how aesthetically pleasing it is. One of the things that we're extremely proud of, not prideful, but we're very proud of, is how aesthetically, how this looks. The colors just pop. It's professional. The other thing is time. As you're doing this in real time and you're going through these searches, I mean, one of the things that initially when I first saw the Genius, having seen all the other services out there, I was just blown away. This is real time, folks. This is real time in seconds. So, I can't even comprehend or understand the data crunching that we do and how fast the information's processed. But that's one of the huge parts. The other thing is how much stuff is in here. I mean, it is, look at it. It's absolutely incredible. You want to run one scenario and you get all these different potential scenarios right there as an option for you. So again, I would just say that it's accurate. Okay. We're getting constant updates. So the stuff you're seeing in front of you as you're doing it in real time is accurate. So accuracy is paramount. You have accuracy, it's super fast, it's clean, it's very professional looking, and it gives you the opportunity, as we always say, hey, you're the captain, we're your crew, you're in control, but now you have the ability with just click of a button, a couple clicks, to get all of this information and your own personal website, and then a CRM feature all in one. It's absolutely incredible. There's nothing else like it.